Hello, and welcome to The Base, Big and Small Screens. Today I'd like to talk to you about not one movie, but two movies. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure and Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. Um, Two classic movies back from '88 and '91 that are fantastic, wonderful little comedies. Um, for those of you who don't know, and I can't imagine there are many who do, or don't, I should say, but for those of you who don't know, any of you youngins out there watching, Bill and Ted are a couple of um, basically loser students in San Dimas, California, who are going to basically fail their history presentation, um, which is coming up very soon. And because they're going to fail it, that means the future is in danger. Because Bill and Ted have a band, a little garage band called Wild Stallions. And unfortunately, Wild Stallions, or rather, I should say, fortunately, Wild Stallions is the basis for a utopian society in the far flung future. Their teachings and whatnot helped improve the world and so on and make it a better place. And they're the basis of this utopia, Wild Stallions. And so one of the men from this future, named Rufus, goes into his telephone booth time machine and travels back in time and ends up lending and helping Bill and Ted go on a journey throughout history, meeting all these famous people who they then end up bringing back to the present day in San Dimas and having them on stage with them for their history presentation, which ends up saving the day. Hooray! But it is an absolutely silly little comedy of bizarreness and it's a comedy of errors, basically. Uh, and George Carlin is playing Rufus. And any of you who like George Carlin, this is early days for him. Back in '88 for this one. And then Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey picks up where this one kind of leaves off. This one, the Bogus Journey, um, they end up having a couple girlfriends from the first one, a couple of princesses from medieval times, and the band is going to be participating in a battle of the bands. It's their big moment. It's where they will become super famous and whatnot. So they end up going and putting in for it, but someone else in the future, an evil member of this utopian society who wants to change how everything is, sends a pair of robot duplicates back in time to kill Bill and Ted and take their place. And it works. Bill and Ted are dead. They go to the afterlife and are ghosts, trying to figure out how to get back to the living. But, but, they end up journeying to hell and to heaven. But before that, they face off against the Grim Reaper in a challenge of like Clue and then Twister and Scrabble and Battleship instead of chess. And the Grim Reaper agrees to take them wherever they want. So they go to heaven and they find an alien that they bring back to Earth with them that builds good robot doubles for them. And there's a whole big epic battle of time travel, pretty much on stage at the Battle of the Bands. And then they go and disappear in their time machine and come back at the same moment, but they're older now and much better at playing guitar because they've gone away and learned how to play, but are still back in time for the Battle of the Bands because time machine. Um, and they save the day, and air guitars are like cleaning up the earth of ozone pollution and weird, bizarre things like that. That's what these movies are like. They're absolutely crazy, but they're classic comedies of back in the day. Just absolute silliness. um, Bill is played by Alex Winter, who doesn't do a lot of acting, but he has done a ton of directing since then. And of course, Ted is the inestimable Keanu Reeves, who I covered in his John Wick movie, and I think the very first episode of Big and Small Screens. So yeah, that's going to be it for this episode of Big and Small Screens. Thank you all so much for watching. As always, if you like what I'm doing, please give that like button a tap. Give that subscribe button a tap as well if you haven't already, so you can be kept apprised of when I do new videos. And throw a comment in the comment section. Have you seen Bill and Ted? If you have, what do you think about it? If you haven't, when are you going to see it? Do all that. And until next time, my friends, check out Bill and Ted, The Excellent Adventure and the Bogus Journey. And always remember the life lesson that Bill and Ted have given to everyone. Be excellent to each other. And party on, dudes.